From relieving herself where she lay,
You gotta get some rags to change it, because I went to the restroom.
to hiding fried chicken for later,
And maybe stash a little for later. That doesn't mean I'm not working hard.
these are the stars of the nastiest episodes of My 600-Pound Life. Starting with Crystal Rollins, who appeared in the 13th episode of the 9th season. She weighed approximately 611 pounds, was almost bedridden, and needed a constant supply of oxygen, all before her first appointment with Dr. Now.
On top of that, I'm going to give you a copy of my book that has exercise. I want you to start doing those exercise 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening.
Okay.
Luckily for Crystal, she lived with her 2 daughters and could depend on them to run some basic errands for her. As expected, viewers didn't like the fact that she had ultimately forced her daughters to be her caregivers. Crystal sure had set her daughters up for failure. Unhealthy habits with no self-esteem. I sure hope her kids find a decent role model soon. I'm also thinking that she doesn't launder her clothing as often as she needs to, since her daughters do all of the housework. As if her daughter's situation weren't bad enough, viewers soon noticed how dirty the house they were living in actually was, because Crystal told the story about her daughter's father. The unthinkable happened.
At my mom's house, and we ended up going to the police and charges were pressed. He only went to jail for a few weeks, but we did manage to get a restraining order for like 5 years. The last time my daughters saw their father, it was like almost 2 years ago, but he still calls them every once in a while.
Although a few were sympathetic to her heartbreaking story, some viewers could not believe how filthy the house was. I'm just now watching the beginning segment and saw a bug crawl up the wall behind her. I had to rewind it to see if it was a roach. Eventually, Crystal reached out to Dr. Now and was in Houston within a few days, ready to turn her life around. She knew she needed to commit to the program and decided to move her entire life at once, allowing the viewers to see how dirty her home really was.
To get ready for this too, moving halfway across the country just to try to get help for me. Hopefully I can hold out to get a good ways there because we're already behind.
People are staring.
And of course, the fans were disgusted by what they were seeing. First thought, ew, nasty carpet. But after seeing the rest of the house, yuck, someone rescue those kids. After seeing her dirty, roach-infested house, some viewers became slightly concerned, believing that her moving might have put the entire Houston area at risk of a roach infestation. Throughout her journey down to Houston, Crystal did not have a proper bath, even up until her first appointment with Dr. Now, and the doctor would not hold back.
It was scary hearing Dr. Now say how dangerous my weight is now.
She was lying, and the fans knew it, with one saying, "I figure her smell was a combo of BO, blood from sores popping since her body was finally moving around, probably dried pee and poop from her traveling, wearing already unwashed clothes, and whatever bacteria was growing on her body." In the end, Crystal got control of her life and qualified for weight loss surgery after losing more weight than Dr. Now asked her to. Despite making significant progress in her program, fans still remember Crystal for the nasty, roach-infested home she kept her children in. Much like Chenise Murray, who had a nasty attitude and even nastier toilet habits. She made her on-screen debut in the 13th episode of the 6th season and weighed a whopping 665 pounds by the time she met Dr. Now.
And you're only 5'1", and your BMI is 123.
At the time of her appearance on the series, she had been married to her husband Freddie for a year and depended on him for basically everything. Despite this, Chenise's treatment of her husband was less than ideal.
How much time do you spend in the shower? 2 hours, right?
Not every single day.
Okay, but not every day, but you do, right?
Sometimes.
I'm not arguing, I'm just telling you. You spend 2 hours in the shower on yourself. You very selfish.
Despite all the care and attention she was getting, Chenise had not been able to lose any weight after 2 months of her weight loss journey. As a matter of urgency, she decided to move down to Houston so she could be closer to the doctor and hopefully remain motivated. But as expected, getting to Houston wasn't easy, especially since she kept complaining, ultimately forcing them to stop at a hotel, where she desperately wanted Freddie to attend to her needs.
We've been on the road for at least 5 hours. My whole body hurts being crammed up in a minivan. And I have to take a bed bath. And I have to have help from Freddie.
Chenise's insistence on getting a bed bath meant only one thing, and the viewers were quick to figure it out. Please tell me I am misunderstanding this scene, and it's just my sick mind making this up. The reason she is so insistent on needing a bed bath is that she shits herself in the car, and Freddie knows that too and doesn't want to clean it up. Well, she's been known to poop in the parking lot, so I say it is possible, said another comment. When Chenise was finally in her hotel room, she started yelling at Freddie for not taking care of her properly.
We need to talk. I'm your wife. I take care of you financially. I gotta beg and ask you to do stuff.
Sweetheart, but just give me a chance, please. I'm not gonna do anything to hurt you or mess our marriage up. I came as far because I love you. I would never maybe make you feel like I did something wrong.
Her behavior, especially towards her husband, who was about to give her a bed bath after soiling herself, did not sit well with some viewers. She's one of my least favorite patients ever. I just saw her as nothing but a user and a taker. Down in Houston, Chenise constantly ignored the doctor's medical instructions and even snuck a pizza into her room on one occasion. Doctor now eventually found out, and he could hardly contain his disappointment.
If you work hard, you'll show on the scale, but you put on almost 50 pounds since you arrived instead of losing. And you claim that you're not eating very much? Really? If you have weight loss surgery, how are you gonna lose weight?
Because I'm gonna work to get the weight off. The surgery's not gonna fix it.
Okay.
It's just a tool to do it.
By eating less, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you eat less, you lose weight, right?
Yes.
You're not losing weight, so you're not eating less, right?
I am.
Okay, the same question.
She wasn't fooling anyone. Instead, people were just disgusted by her nasty behavior. Chenise eventually quit the program and gained more weight than she had started with. Unlike this next star, who lost weight but disgusted everyone with her cooking habits. Marla McCants first appeared in the 10th episode of the 3rd season. Bedridden and sustained by her daughters and caretakers, she weighed approximately 800 pounds and, like most of the other stars on this list, was in danger of losing her life.
Marla potentially has developed blood clot in her leg for being immobile for so long.
Marla had turned to unhealthy foods after being molested by her father and later abducted and held captive by her ex-boyfriend from high school because he couldn't deal with their breakup. Since she was from a different environment and was practically bedridden, Marla had gotten used to doing things a bit differently.
I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my mom.
I need to do something fast, or that's what's gonna happen.
Watching Marla cook and eat in the same bed she sits in almost 24/7 was absolutely nasty, and viewers did not hold back their comments. I really cannot do that. I mean, literally cooking in your bedroom and eating in your bedroom too? At least go cook in the kitchen and walk in the backyard after. I cried watching her load that nasty table on her lap, on her bed, to deep fry and eat. It's so disgusting. Eventually, Marla reached out to Dr. Now for help, and to many viewers' surprise, she was approved for weight loss surgery in no time. The surgery was a success, and although she showed signs of powering through the process, Marla eventually lost motivation. She blatantly refused to exercise or go for therapy, prompting a visit from the doctor.
It seems like since you left the hospital, you haven't lost much of weight, huh?
I've lost a lot of weight.
But not since you left the hospital. So if we get a couple of EMT, we can help you to stand up? If she doesn't stand up now, she'll be in this bed until she dies. Marla, you can't do it.
Marla hadn't been on her feet in months, and Dr. Now's insistence was exactly the motivation she needed, because by the end of the episode, she was able to bring her weight down to 534 pounds. Marla maintained her desire to lose weight even when the cameras were no longer on her. And in the span of just 2 years, she had lost 560 pounds and became one of the stars to have lost the most weight on the show. Although Marla's transformation was inspiring, she will always be remembered for cooking on a nasty table and eating in bed, much like Milla Clark, who will forever be remembered for being a nasty mother. Making her on-screen debut in the 10th episode of the 4th season, Milla Clark was bedridden, had to depend on her kids for most things, and weighed an enormous 751 pounds.
So my 3 middle children, Hannah and Caleb, who are 15, and Jacob was 16, have to clean me everywhere so I don't develop any infections. And while Hannah is washing my private parts, Jacob is usually holding my lipedema.
Watching her children take care of her naturally upset some fans, but finding out most were adopted was just too much for some to take. Use indeed. Washing Mum's with all the siblings watching, as if she knew there would be some backlash to letting her children wash her, Milla tried to defend her actions with excuses.
But after having Esau, I was getting close to 500 pounds, and I was just too heavy to have another child. So we had to adopt. There were children from homes of drug-addicted parents, and my heart broke for them.
Of course, posturing like she was better than her adopted kids' original parents triggered some more comments from fans. And you can hear her justifying it like, well, their parents were drug addicts. At least I'm not like that. Like, no, you are basically the same. Her episode was particularly nasty because she had multiple lymphodemas that required almost all her kids to handle.
I know it's horrible for them. And if I'm gonna do anything for them, I have to do it from this bed. Hurry, Anna, hurry. Thank you.
Milla finally reached out to Dr. Now for help and ultimately went from a peak weight of 751 pounds all the way down to her goal weight of just 155 pounds, a total loss of 596 pounds. While Milla had some disgusting moments in her episode, she still turned her life around in the end. However, that wasn't the case with Penny Seagga, who was given the same opportunity but preferred to do everything in her bed. Penny appeared in the 3rd episode of the 2nd season and weighed approximately 530 pounds. Since she was bedridden, she completely depended on her husband, Edgar.
When you become as heavy as I have, it's hard. It's real hard. Sometimes it feels like I'm dead. I cannot do the things that normal people take for granted, like walking to the bathroom.
Like a few others on this list, Penny used her obesity as an excuse to do everything on her bed, including tending to her only son's needs.
This is my bed. This is my bathroom. This is my dinner table. I don't feel good. I might as well be a prisoner in jail. Liam. Head up. You know you can't do down. Because you know where your calic is. I help take care of my son, but it's here. If he refused to come into my bubble, then I wouldn't be able to help him.
The fact that she couldn't do more with her son finally propelled her to seek Dr. Now's help, who in turn admitted Penny after realizing how serious her situation was.
But if your oxygen saturation is better than mine, why do you need to have oxygen?
I don't know the technical reason, but at 20 minutes, my fingers and lips get blue. Like right now, I'm starting to be very uncomfortable without the oxygen.
Within weeks of being under constant supervision, she lost enough weight for gastric sleeve surgery, a procedure done to remove 80% of her stomach and restrict the amount of food she ate. Dr. Now had hoped that Penny would use the surgery as a springboard to a better life, but that didn't happen. Instead, Penny was constantly tired and refused to cooperate with the doctor or any of his staff. He eventually sent her home, only for her to resume her gross life on her bed.
You really don't need someone telling you right after surgery what you can and can't do. There's really only so many popsicles and soups and cream of wheat you can take before you're done with it.
Her lack of motivation worsened over the next few weeks. She refused to cooperate with the nurses, follow her diet, or even leave her bed made. And as a result, fans began to suspect that she had never planned on losing any weight. I have a feeling she was faking immobility and needing oxygen so she wouldn't lose her disability. So, during her next appointment, Dr. Now let her know just how bad she was doing.
Look, Penny, quit crying because this is for your benefit, okay? You know how many people like you, I signed their death certificate, and later on I thought, what could I have done to get across to them? And I'm not getting across to you either. What you're saying, it really make no sense, okay?
Then I'm going to have to just go home where I can try and get something else.
I don't think this conversation is getting anywhere. It's your life and your decision.
To some fans, Penny's journey was just nasty, intentional, and plain old annoying. She made me so mad, especially when she screamed for Dr. Now. All you had to do was not eat plates of wontons at a time. Penny eventually quit the program and returned to Maryland. Eventually, her health deteriorated to the point that in April 2025, rumors began to spread that she had passed away. And although TLC hasn't given a statement confirming or denying the news, fans were quick to share their thoughts on the entire situation. There was nothing sudden about this. She was full of excuses and refused to follow the diet. And she was a huge liar. Just like Penny, Lupe Samano didn't put in nearly enough effort to get her life back. But it was her nasty toilet habits that disgusted viewers the most. Weighing in at 642 pounds, Lupe appeared in the 12th episode of the 4th season and immediately showed everyone just how much she loved food.
I'm embarrassed how much I eat. Sometimes I'll order me an extra taco and put it in my purse. Gilbert, you don't even know.
And of course, the fans reacted. Seeing tacos in there made me wonder what other types of food purses can hold. Lupe had been bedridden for at least 2 years and had to depend on her husband, Gilbert, for everything.
It's been 10 years since my coma and I haven't walked on my own since then. I walked into the ER and I never walked out. Ready? It changed my entire life. So now my bed is my restroom, my place where I take a shower, where I do everything.
She had suffered a diabetic coma in the past and after recovering, failed to get up. So, after years of living in her bed, she finally reached out to Dr. Now, hoping to change her life, and headed down to Houston for her very first appointment.
I'm not getting off this car. I'd rather pee on the thing. I'm sorry. I had an accident. Yes, help me.
What do you want me to do right now?
You gotta get some rags to change it because I went to the restroom.
Okay.
It's wet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
They were barely halfway there, and she had soiled herself not once, but twice.
Switch your Botox and get a lot of dirt after this.
The rags are wet.
Huh? The rags are wet too?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do with this?
Throw it.
You're gonna walk in here with this? God.
Watching Lupe constantly needing to use the bathroom was absolutely disgusting to some fans. When she peed on the towels in the car, her husband had to go wash them. I died inside. That shit was so disgusting. Within the first 2 months of her program, Lupe's weight was down to 573 pounds, and she was on track for surgery. But by the time she came in for her next appointment, Lupe was incredibly tense and decided to relieve herself in the toilet, which led to an embarrassing situation for both her and her husband.
1, 2, 3.
No one's gonna make me fall. Ready? Oh! Make me up, please.
Babe, you're overthinking it.
It's broken! I'm not gonna fall the damn thing!
Lupe was eventually rescued from the broken toilet and went on to have successful surgeries, but her story was just as depressing as it was nasty. But it was a different story compared to the disgusting way this next My 600 Pound Life star ate her meals. Holly Hager made her debut in the 5th episode of the 7th season, and although she wasn't bedridden, Holly depended on her longtime partner Ray for most things.
Holly probably eats enough for 3 to 4 people. I do it because I love her and I just can't say no to her.
There's never a moment I don't want to eat. And I think I'm addicted to food. That's very hard to admit to myself.
Like others on this list, Holly genuinely loved to eat, but the fans disliked the way she did it, with one comment saying, "That tongue darting in and out of her mouth like that? Just stop." Eventually, after trying and failing to lose weight on her own, she decided to seek help from Dr. Now and was at the hospital in no time.
So you never dealt with the issues driving you to eat. And the odds of long-term failure are high for someone at your weight.
Okay.
But it's even higher for someone at your weight who already had weight loss surgery before. So what are you gonna do this time that you didn't do last time that is going to make your long-term result any different?
We can eat better.
Despite putting her on his 1,200 calorie a day diet, Holly continued eating and repeatedly failed to meet Dr. Now's targets. So the doctor asked her to move down to Houston, hoping the change of environment would be the push she needed. Unfortunately, Holly would use this move as an excuse to further indulge in some unhealthy eating habits.
Okay, more white rice. Since we just moved in, we're not really set up to cook. So we're ordering delivery from places around here a lot, until we can get some pots and pans and stuff to cook with. But Ray said he's gonna look for a job tomorrow, and he'll get all that while he's out. And we can start prepping healthy meals. As far as I'm concerned, this is our last meal out.
Good.
Watching Holly eat takeout food triggered quite a number of viewers, with one saying, "I hate the way she eats, how she flaps her tongue all the way out and shovels mounds of food. Fucking gross. It's so gross. Very rarely do the eating scenes gross me out, but hers was hard to watch." It wasn't just her eating that infuriated fans. She was literally hours away from her next appointment with Dr. Now and somehow found herself eating takeout food. We're not set up to cook while literally sitting in front of a cooker. The excuses are terrible. Just admit you don't care to try. As a result, Holly weighed over 611 pounds during her next appointment and had once again failed to make considerable progress towards her weight loss goal. As expected, Dr. Now didn't hold back.
Saw the scale.
Holly, stop playing games and lying to me. You know exactly what you're doing when you're making the choices you do. I'm not gonna play along with this act. You have this dynamic where you act like a child who doesn't understand. So everyone gives up on trying to get you to do what you should. That's not gonna work on me. You got that?
It didn't stop there. Dr. Now pressed for more answers and was shocked by the actual reason she had been failing.
So tell me what's really going on.
I've had some trouble with cravings still, and it's just a repeating record in my head that plays over and over and over until I give in. Nothing is working to get past that record playing in my head.
What is record playing saying?
I want chocolate, I want chocolate, I want chocolate, I want chocolate.
So chocolate is more important to you than living, apparently.
Hearing Holly admit to an unending desire for chocolate, a bunch of fans decided to share their heart-wrenching opinions online. She reminded me of a baby who's being spoon-fed for the first time. She was just gross overall. At the end of her year, Holly had lost significant weight, but fans just couldn't get over the gross way she ate her meals. But this next star had habits that were far more disgusting to viewers. Living with her boyfriend, JT, LaShanta White weighed 662 pounds when she first appeared in the 16th episode of the 7th season, and her eating habits had rendered her bedridden for a few years.
I can't even go to the bathroom on my own anymore. The best I could do is scoot to the end of my bed and use a bowl that my boyfriend JT brings me. Thank you. And then he comes and takes it to dispose of it for me.
LaShanta was also bedridden and had to do everything from that bed, including washing herself, which she, of course, needed assistance with.
I just wish I could skip my bath because it's so hard. But if I skip it, the chafing and the bed sores I get will get worse. So I have to stay clean, no matter how difficult and painful it is.
She did everything on that bed, including a very nasty secret that no one expected her to talk about.
My first date was in this bed with Jeremy because everything happens in this bed. We had got some takeout and we ate and we watched movies and we chilled. And since then, we've been dating. And he helps take care of me now and moved in about 6 months ago.
Although LaShanta needed help with most things, she didn't need as much help when it came to cooking, which she did in the very same place where she relieved herself, bathed, and did pretty much everything else.
Food is the only joy and pleasure I have now. It's the only thing I really have to look forward to anymore. Knowing I'm making something wonderful for all of us is exciting. Because when our food is done right, it's everything good and wonderful, all together in these bites of joy. And I can never get enough. When I eat, I'll be on top of the world. Nobody can tell me nothing.
Seeing LaShanta do everything on that bed was just too much for some viewers. LaShanta deep fried in her bed, gross and also dangerous. Imagine this thing falling over and all that seething oil over your legs. The worst is making food in your bed. Imagine having a toilet in your kitchen or a stove in your bathroom. LaShanta eventually reached out to Dr. Now, who tasked her with losing weight before their next appointment. She couldn't and had started depending on her next-door neighbor for meals after JT had left her because he was upset that she was trying to lose weight. As a result, she was at her next appointment with Dr. Now, all by herself.
Well, if you still can't get up and your boyfriend is gone, who's bringing your food?
The man across the street, my neighbor.
He tried to kill you or what?
Despite the doctor's remarks, she did not stop eating, and 8 months into her program, she weighed 576 pounds, a far cry from what Dr. Now wanted, and he would give her a piece of his mind.
I'm not about to come. I ain't come down here for nothing.
Yes, you did. You come down here for nothing because you think you can do the same thing here that you did back home. Nothing is different with you except your location. So you made your choice. And your choice is to kill yourself with food.
Dr. Now couldn't take her non-compliance anymore and denied her surgery, forcing LaShanta to change her approach.
So there's nothing else I can do for you.
Give me one more month to lose the 50 pounds.
No, you're not going to lose the 50 pounds.
Yes, I am. I'm going to show you. Give me one more month. Don't shut the door on me right now.
I'm not shutting it. You are.
I'm going to lose the weight. Give me one more month.
No.
Eventually, she went on to lose weight and lead a better life, but she would never be forgotten for her disgusting antics. Now, if you like my videos, please subscribe or watch my similar videos here.